The building of the Earth takes place by endogenous forces. These are forces that arise through the magma flows within the Earth. But mountains are also broken down again. This is caused by exogenous forces. These forces are caused by external influences. The most important influence from outside the Earth is the Sun. Furthermore, the Moon and meteorites play a very small role in shaping the landscape. The degradation of rock is called weathering. This means that rock is broken. We divide weathering into two types: chemical weathering and physical weathering. Physical weathering is in turn subdivided into three types of weathering: thermal stress weathering, frost weathering, and biological weathering. Thermal stress weathering is mainly seen in deserts. Stones can warm up all day. Because of that heat, the stone expands. At night, the temperature cools considerably and the stone shrinks. This goes on for a long time. Because the outside of the stone warms and cools, and therefore only the outer layer expands and shrinks, there is tension in the stone that leads to cracks in the stone, and the stone eventually falls apart. Frost weathering is mainly seen in high mountains and other cold areas. Water can penetrate into small cracks in the stones. In cold areas, the water can freeze where it expands. This separates the stone. This creates more room for water to get into the cracks, so that next time the stone can be pushed further apart. This type of weathering therefore requires a slightly humid environment, and the temperature must be around the freezing point so that the water can freeze and thaw. Weathering by plant roots has a resemblance to frost weathering. Only here are the plant roots that push the stone apart. Roots can come into cracks in the stone. When trees grow, the roots become thicker. In this way, they can push stones apart. In addition to physical weathering, there is also chemical weathering. Chemical weathering means that rock is disintegrated by a chemical reaction. Chemical weathering generally occurs when some rocks come into contact with water or oxygen. When there is more carbon dioxide or CO2 in the water becomes more acidic, causing chemical weathering to occur even faster. More CO2 in the atmosphere therefore leads to acid rain, causing more chemical weathering. Chemical weathering is most clearly visible in limestone caves. Water has dissolved the limestone, creating caves. Later on, stalagmites and stalactites can arise here that provide beautiful caves. When caves become too large, they can collapse, which is called a doline. So, rock can be broken down by various forms of weathering.